today we're going to demonstrate a project, breadboard project, electronic kit about doorknob alarm. So basically we're going to build from scratch using a breadboard and the parts that we buy from the shop, and we fix each part onto the breadboard and we test it out at the end, and if there's a sound when the circuit works, okay, the speaker does produce a sound, then it shows that the project is a success. So basically it works exactly the same as a doorknob alarm system.
Hello, now we're going to explain what are the components and its function. This is called variable resistance. We can change the resistance by using this variable resistance. This is coil. This coil represents the inductor, and this is a bare wire. Bare wire represents the doorknob. It can detect the doorknob. This circuit we can use a wood doorknob or PVC doorknob.
Okay, now I'm going to show you the next three components. So the first one is resistor, which is reduce down the currents, and this is the capacitor, which is used to store the energy, and this transistor, which is NPN types.
Okay, the following three components is the switch, which is open and close the circuit. LED detects the current flow, and this is IC, integrated circuit. It has 14 pin and each pin has its own function.
So now we're going to explain the last final three parts of our project. Okay. So the last final three parts, first of all, is the battery here. It's a 9-volt battery. Okay, and then next we have the main part, that is a speaker. It's a 8 ohms speaker, and it will produce the sound when we hang over the doorknob, and if it's a success, it will produce a sound. Okay, and then this capacitor over here is an electrolytic capacitor, and it's the biggest capacitor in our circuit, and is 220 microfarad capacitor. Okay, then basically the rest are just jumper wires and also resistors. Yeah, the balance are just resistors with specific values. Now we're going to start the soldering process. Okay, every component has to be soldered onto the breadboard. So I will solder the first component first. And just to take note that sometimes after when we solder, we do make mistakes. So we have to re-solder or readjust accordingly. So if there's any changes of the component on the breadboard, it shows that we re-solder the particular component because of errors. Okay, this is the first one. I just show. I've soldered the two parts onto the breadboard, and the ideal shape would be like this type of conical shape.
This is resistor 2. We already soldered resistor 1. Now we need to solder resistor 2. Resistor 1 and resistor 2 is connected connected in a parallel.
Okay, this is the test where we're going to test whether it finally works. So this is it. So first of all, we're going to hang over a doorknob shown here. Okay, and now when I touch it, it is supposed to produce a light and a sound together. Shows that it works. Okay, so now I'm going to test whether the alarm system works or not.